Hello and welcome to today's lesson. We are going to continue with our old friends, rice, naan bread and the crochet rest. We're also going to be revisiting our dynamic friends, F, which was forte for loud, and P, which was piano, which meant quiet in Italian. And we're going to have a surprise guest that's going to join our rhythm family or our rhythm menu this week. So we'll start off by listening to a piece of music that I'm going to start over here. And we'll see if we can find the pulse together. So here's where my pulse would be. And we'll do a little bit of copying using our microphones. So we've got to cover our microphones for our rest. I might have a loud dynamic and a quiet dynamic. We'll have to see. Here comes the first one. Rice, rice, naan bread, rice. Naan bread, naan bread, naan bread, rice. Naan bread, naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice. Rice, rice, naan bread, naan bread. Naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice. Rice, rice, rice. Rice, rice, naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice, chicken tikka rice. Oh, bit of a surprise there. We were introduced to chicken tikka. So when we've been using rice, that's been one sound, and our one sound has been for a crotchet or a one beat note. Naan bread has used two syllables, and both those syllables together have made two separate quavers. So naan bread is a pair of quavers, and we've seen those written down before. And today we're going to start thinking about chicken tikka. So chicken tikka has got four syllables, and those notes are a little bit shorter again. So if our notes had a little bit longer length to them, because when we clap our hands and use short sounds with our voices, they can all sound a similar length. But if we thought of rice, rice, rice as being slightly longer, naan bread are going to be half that length. So quavers are half the length of semiquavers, which means that chicken tikka are going to be four short sounds, and they look a little bit like this. And if you notice, they've got two lines above the top of their notes instead of one. And when we first meet them, we're going to see them in groups of four. Okay, so we'll just try a few more of these now that we've had our surprise introduction to chicken tikka. We'll just see if we can add a few more in with our copies. So here comes our pulse again. Got there eventually. Okay. So we need to make sure that we've got our teeth and our tongues ready to go. Chicken tikka, naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice, chicken tikka rice. Chicken tikka, naan bread, chicken tikka rice. Naan bread, chicken tikka rice. Chicken tikka, naan bread, chicken tikka rice. Rice, rice, naan bread, rice. Chicken tikka, chicken tikka rice. Chicken tikka, naan bread, rice. Chicken tikka, naan bread, rice. Chicken tikka, rice. I think I better stop there before I choke on my chicken tikka. Okay, so the notes are getting shorter and the rhythms are getting a little bit more complicated. So next thing I'd like to show you are these four lines here. And these, I've got some old friends and our new friend as well. So if we have a look at the first line, that is marked F for forte, which was loud. And that means the first line would go rice, rice, naan bread, rice, which should be straightforward enough because we've done these lots now. And if we look at line 2, We can see that's got lots of naan breads. It's also got the little P at the bottom of it, which means it's going to be a little bit quieter. So line 2 will go naan bread, rice. So I'm going to show you the dynamics, a loud forte and a quiet piano. Let's see if we can do line 1 and line 2 together. Off we go. Rice, rice, naan bread, rice, naan bread, rice. Very good. And now in line 3, we have the first appearance of our friend Chicken Tikka. And it's nice and loud for this first one, so it's marked F for forte. And I'm going to put my hands further apart to show you a louder dynamic. And line 3 goes, naan bread, rice, chicken tikka rice. Let's try that together. Off we go. Naan bread, rice, chicken tikka rice. Fantastic. And the final line has got a chicken tikka at the beginning of it. And it's also got our little squiggly rest. That means there's a silent beat at the end. So line 4 will go chicken tikka, naan bread, rice. And there's our silent rest at the end. So I'm going to find a pulse. My own pulse this time, maybe a little bit slower than the last music we were listening to. And I'm going to see if I can read all the way through from the top to the bottom. Ready, steady, off we go. Rice, rice, naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice. Naan bread, rice, chicken tikka rice. Chicken tikka, naan bread, rice. Okay, hopefully you are following that one along as well. We're now going to play our guessing game, our game of spot the rhythms. So there are 4 lines. So I'm going to read through one of those 4 lines and I'd like you to show me with your secret silent salute whether you think it was line 1, line 2, line 3, or line 12 and a half, line 4. Okay, so you can show that. If you're by yourself watching this lesson, you can just shout it out in my general direction and I'll still hear you honest. Okay, so which line went like this? Naan bread, rice. Here it comes again. Naan bread, rice. That was line 2, because it's the only one I can see that's got a really quiet P next to it, piano. Okay, how about this one? Chicken tikka, naan bread, rice. Could do it like this. Chicken tikka, naan bread, rice. And that was line 4. Okay, because that's the one that had the rest at the end and it had a chicken tikka at the start. Let's try one more. Rice, rice, naan bread, rice. Rice, rice, naan bread, rice. That was line number 1. Okay, so that's how chicken tikkas look when they have been written down. And that's how our piece of music for today was going to look. Now this lesson is slightly shorter than normal because I'm going to encourage you to look at a second lesson. This lesson is imaginatively titled Lesson 1B, and it has exactly the same things as we have been looking at in this lesson, with the exception of, I think, the forte and the piano. I don't think there are any dynamics in this next lesson, but it has lots more examples of chicken tikkas and naan breads and rices, and the tempo in it is quite fast. So if you want to slow down the tempo at all, if it seems like it's a little bit of a challenge, then you can find the tempo down in the bottom corner, which hopefully you'll be able to slow down and watch the lesson back at a slower speed. Okay, now don't panic if this seems a little bit scary now, because at the beginning of lockdown, when I first recorded this lesson, 1 part B, it was aimed at people that were in year 4. So if it's a little bit scary, don't panic about it. You can just follow it along and try and follow the music if you don't want to join in with all the words. Okay, so have a look at the next lesson and I will see you all very soon.